Hello there and welcome to World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. We're here on Westfield Assault and it's the winter map and I'm a tier 6 tank on a decidedly tier 8 game. I kind of despaired when I saw the lineup. The reason for my despair is that I was a tier 6 tank on a tier 8 lineup. No tier 7s, it's just 2 tier 6s on each side. And the consensus of opinion is that if you don't dominate the northwestern side of the map, you won't win Westfield. And recently, since the last change or update on this map, the teams that spawn on the north side and our side tend to come up this side of the map where I'm coming. Or I could just come up this side of the map, except the fact that I would get 2 to 3 penetrating shots, which is all you need to get fire for effect. And basically have pull your weight on an SU-100. So it was safe to say that I wasn't expecting a whole lot from this match. And as you can see, a lot of my teammates probably had a similar notion. The heavy tanks that are going up the western side of the map all seem to be stopping at the edge of the valley. So I'm going to come up here to the edge of the bridge, the viaduct, and engage the binoculars and see if I can see anything. And then hopefully the mediums in our team that have come up here, there is at least one, might push on south around to where that light tank or the medium tank is just appearing. Now that medium tank has isolated himself. Let's go to T25. He's actually pushed on too far. The other odd thing about this map is the tendency to push large numbers of tanks into the southwestern corner of the map is more prevalent on the northern spawning team than on the southern spawning team. They tend to send more tanks into the northwest. Now, we've received a bunch of speculative fire there. I think people are just firing from the village into the usual camping spots. And tanks are starting to appear on the enemy side. And there's actually a substantial number of tanks. Now, I've managed to nail that CDC. I have the Easy 8 in my sights. However, only one enemy tank has actually appeared up in the northwest. If you look at the minimap right now, those tanks that I'm circling around here at the bottom end of the village, in the south eastern side of the village, they're inside the render range from our location, where I am. Tanks, the other tank up into the village and the tank in the hill is outside the render range, so we can't shoot at them. We can shoot at the other ones, and they are the bulk of the enemy forces. The enemy has fallen into a trap of its own making. The Skoda T25 detected a very large force down here, and the guys arrived in the hills, and there was no tanks on our side up in the hills, so they rushed down to the bottom end of the village to engage us. And that leaves them under fire from us because we can spot them, and they are spotted from our tanks that are at the edge of the valley, and they're also under fire from the tanks at the edge of the valley. The enemy team would have been much better off not coming down this early in the game and actually remaining up in the hills, clearing out our defenders from the A line and B line at the edge of the valley. Then they could have come down into the south eastern side of the village when we couldn't see them, and send the medium tank maybe down to the right to the edge of the valley at the viaduct, or they could go back and come up by the K line to what is it, J0 or someplace like that, and spot us from down there where we could do nothing about it. So they've been punished for that, so we're now up 3 tanks because they basically came down to this end of the map too soon, when there was too many of us alive and we were able to see them doing it. To effectively use that southeastern end of the northern edge of the valley, you have to have cleared the enemy off of that whole northern side. If you're being spotted from anywhere on that part of the ground, you're not going to be able to successfully survive against tanks on this side. So you need to clear the northern side first, and you need to do it from the far north, where you're outside of the render range of tanks on this side of the valley. But that's be as it may, I've done rather well for myself, and I've gotten 5 spotting ribbons, or 5 damaging ribbons already, and I have 7 assisted damage ribbons from spotting. So actually putting binoculars on this thing has paid off. Now the enemy actually sent a very large force over. If that whole force had gone in, say, on the ABC line and hadn't come any further south, they'd have cleared us out from the edge of the valley by now, and they would be able to pick the rest of us off at their leisure.
Focus on this area.
The other thing is that other than that T-25, they didn't send anything of use down to this side. You'll see as we come along what I mean by that. There are some tanks down there. We just haven't found them yet, because we also don't have much of the line of scouting capability down here. I think I've probably got one of the best scouting tanks in the group, and SU-100s are not known for their massive view range. So I'm taking a look-see from up here just to see if I can see anything, and there's a T-34, which is the kind of the point I was making. A T-34 is a heavy tank. It would be much better employed on the northern side of the map. There's also another heavy tank down there, a Fatherland, which has possibly even worse view range than the T-34. At least the American heavies tend to have a reasonably decent view range. However, neither of them will be as good as medium tanks, or some of the tank destroyers with good view ranges. Now we have an IS-3 here, and he can't see anything either. There is something blinking away at him down there. So I'm going to wait for the binoculars to come up. I'm not sticking my nose out any further because if he's been detected by there, I would be detected also. Now I'm not allowing the binoculars to come up here because I'm kind of jinking the tank because I'm expecting stuff to be driving up from there. So there's the AT-15, which is probably what was doing the spotting down at that end. The AT-15 would have a decent enough view range. So I was trying to get a decent shot on the AT-15. He has dropped out. He's outside of my effective spotting, and he's probably moved, so that missed anyway. And I've moved on to the APCR because an AT-15 from this range with this tank would be a difficult enough thing to deal with. So the T-34 has thought about pushing up, but he obviously has sixth sense, realised he was detected and started to back up immediately. We're only 2 tanks up, so things are close enough. I'm going to play a cautious enough game at this point. Now, there are 2 tank destroyers up in the northwest. One at the edge of the village, and he's in serious trouble because he can be shot at from both the south and that medium tank closing in on him, and I've decided to turn around and have a crack at him as well. And there's another one on the north, and he's isolated also. We know there's 3 of the remaining tanks are down in our corner of the map, so there's only probably that one tank destroyer up there. I didn't make my move in time, so I didn't get a shot of that Rheinmetall Borsig, so I'm going to go back to my corner and again wait for binoculars to come on, because I don't want to push across the open ground there. There's a good chance that if the AT-15 is still there, he's got better view range than I do. And I would get spotted in the middle of the open ground, and I don't have the armour or the hit points to put up with what's down there. Any one of the 3 of them would take me out before I'd fire more than 2 shots back at them. So the AT-15 pops up, and I don't quite have the commander's hatch. And as I go forward, up I go, and I don't have the gun depression, but because I've spotted him, somebody else has managed to take him out. And that's the T-34. He's engaged in targets to the north of him, and he's not paying any attention to me. So we've put a round into him, and it looks like we'll probably get the chance of putting a second round before he comes and blow for a plate. And he's giving me side, so will I get the chance to get the 3rd round in? Doesn't look like it.
Using the optics, Commander.
And he's in cover, so that's pretty much it. There's only a minute left, and it's assault, so if that T-34 is still alive, the Fatherland looks like it has gone down towards the cap circle and is being mobbed below there. So the T-34 is not being spotted at the moment, so he is... nobody's paying attention to him. So I'm probably the only one that can get him, and if he's still alive and the clock ticks off, I think we've lost the game. So, where is he? He should be here at the corner.
The enemy knows our
Hello,
location.
it's me. He's got his
Dropping
back
target.
turned to me. Excellent. Yeah, we finish him off.
Down. Well done.
So that's it. 2 kills, 9 damaging ribbons, 10 assisted damage, and we spotted 3 tanks. So we did 3,346 damage, 3,260 assisted damage, got a mastery, fire for effect, no other badges. So that's it, did pretty good. Came first by experience. So I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you found it interesting, and thank you for watching, and please consider giving the channel a like and a subscription, and I'll catch you again soon.